I guess we should be like, who's on this stream?
Oh,
Since
you're right. Yeah, so mistakes. It's me. Hi guys.
Hi.
Sam's here. We
Hello.
get we got Lat,
what's up?
and then Slam decided to join us today as well. So
How's it going, guys?
bring a little more
Slam.
sauce into the mix.
Yeah.
And we need to get. I'm gonna add a command so we can get his Twitter.
Yeah. Shill his Twitter.
Can we just have like the command, someone just like WWE dude like crushing a person into like a table?
Yeah. Give Lat like 10 minutes to set that up.
Yeah. I might need a few weeks actually.
I know. Hurry, someone in chat, please help. All right, let's...
Wait, it looks like Islam. The exclamation point.
It does. Right.
This
You
is
know what to do, boys.
actual fucking children here.
You might as well just do commands, but add
Inshallah.
Islam.
Man, Islam. All right, I'm gonna stop there before I say stuff. All right. So hopping in on
You might be stopping. I'm not. I'm adding Islam. Continue. Just
so
All right.
it's been a while since
Yeah.
this looks at some of these charts. So let's hop in because we got a lot to cover. Oil. I guess coming back, there's probably like a 3-day or a daily order block here. That we initially drew this out of. Yeah, so just order block, came back into it, retesting it. I think good chance it might get ran. So you might get a quick deviation down. And I think you're really coming into an area where you'd want to see some type of breakout of this extended downtrend. Let's see. Wouldn't be surprised if we have some type of divs forming soon. Yeah, so maybe a wick down, maybe chop around, consolidate for a couple of weeks, put in some more high time frame bullish divs, and then we start seeing some moves to the upside. So here, even on the hourly, you see some major divs happening even into the H4. So yeah, I expect like some temporary bounce, kind of chop around, consolidate in this area, build up some allow the bigger guys to fill up some size, and then we probably move back up. I'm pretty bullish on oil into like Q1, Q2. I think this is kind of overarching. Might have some type of crypto rally like Q1, Q2, and I think upon that moving down and kind of retracing whatever move it has to the upside, I think you probably have this consolidating, and then that's when the oil takes off. So I don't know, just kind of a higher time frame market theory, but overall I think getting long here kind of, or start scaling in here if you're trading oil. I know Aru does, because we're at channel lows, aim for channel highs, and assuming that we get some type of breakout play, you'd want to see the reclaim of this 85, 86 level to level, play it up to 108. That's really it for oil.
Good deal. Slam, do you chart many commodities?
Yeah. I mean, I'll chart anything. I mean, I'm not actively charting it, but yeah, I mean, I'll chart anything. I usually just look at like gold, silver, a little bit of equities here and there, but no, I mean, for the most part, I'm just slinging the crypto charts.
The Ponzi's.
The Ponzi's, man. That's what I need.
The best.
All right, so
Miz, are you actually? I know that you're like virtually trading a lot of these, but are you actually trading anything outside of crypto right now?
So I had like that 100 grand that I threw on TD. That's like, so like I think I'm at like 120 now or something. Like,
wow.
Yeah, I mean I was up to like 150, 160, and I took like a fat fucking L.
What, on ES or what?
Like there was 2 trades in a row where, I mean, I'm obviously going like all in.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like I'm like,
All in on what?
oh, it's a
On
swing all in
commodities,
here.
on-
Like I'm just like slinging this money around, like taking kind of
trading, were you trading futures or what were you trading?
no, like literally like SPY.
Nice.
Just SPY, not even calls.
No,
regular
just
old
straight up, just like marketing in like some fucking
yeah.
like
That's
100K, and then just fucking wait until it like reaches, you know, whatever I've charted on ES. I'm not even charting SPY, I'm literally charting ES, and it's just like eyeballing it. Total fucking degenerate shit.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I think, I don't know, some of these commodities are pretty clean to trade. Like, you know, here, like easy gap fill, it's a meme, but like for real. You know, I have a pullback, kind of retest these lows here, and you know, really kind of just looks like a range bound environment, right? So you have, here's your range, and then speed deviation zones. The way this is bouncing here, I wouldn't even be surprised if it's kind of like a fake move. Usually on like a huge macro trend line break like that, you would want to see it a more aggressive move, take out lows like here, keep fading away, but it's holding this pretty well. So you might see some range bound chop and then possible drive into the highs at some point.
Looks good.
What we got down here? So we got this commodities bucket index.
Oh,
This
yeah.
fucker looks terrible. However, I would bet higher time frame you have some bull divs forming, so we probably get like some relief. This kind of looks like a, yeah, so you're gonna have a bottom forming somewhere here. You're catching a hot knife, but
It's kind of got like the 3 drives down.
yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think probably a decent play. You get long here, put your stops like down here, and maybe target this upper block somewhere here. I think that's probably a fair play. Although again, like usually what happens on like these types of moves is you get one final like fake break, and then you get the real move to the upside. Usually just run any stops, kind of shake out any highly levered people. So, but yeah, I think ultimately we get some relief, and that kind of aligns with what we were seeing on oil as well. This is fucking US 10-year. Hey. It's not up only anymore. I don't know exactly what that means. There's US 10-year experts in chat, but
I'm sure.
Slam, do you know anything about this US 10-year shit?
No, fuck no, man.
No.
Money goes up, Bitcoin goes down.
I mean, yeah, basically, like I know about the correlation, but I don't know enough to comment on it, you know?
Yeah, well, we're getting like, I think a lot of this has to do with like monetary policies.
Yeah.
I don't think it, I mean, I'm sure it's chartable, but
it looks parabolic as fuck, I can tell you that. Well, not so bad when you zoom out, but
well, don't worry, boys. It was a mirror deviation here. We're back into range. I don't know.
Like a multi-year deviation.
decade-long deviation.
I know. All right, I'm getting the fuck out of that before I make myself look stupid anymore.
Gold. Man,
Gold.
we nailed the gold chart.
Dude, we really did. Like, this one held up so fucking well. Like, look, literally fucking perfect. Like, we would have gotten long down here, but like, we're essentially saying get long here. Like, you can still get long here, and we're going to target the highs.
Yeah, I think even back in, early November, we were talking about getting long on gold.
Yep. Yeah, because we were saying, like, you're assuming a breakout happens, but you play it safer and wait until it gets that 1720 reclaim. So yeah, I think overall gold looks pretty fucking good. It's just a simple range bound play. You know, your time to get in was obviously on this pullback, or, you know, back here whenever it started breaking out of the downtrend. So not that I would, you know, get it now, but level to level, logical play. You know, aim for 2K to 2060. You can wait 4 years for that one to play out.
Yeah, right. Yeah. just a few years.
2 years, I made 1%, boys.
Oh yeah.
You'll probably see it. You'll probably see a sweep of 1733 on that.
Oh, you have a chart for it?
No.
Is this a gap here?
I'm just on it.
There is a gap too.
Where? Oh yeah.
So yeah, you might get another.
That could be a pretty good entry.
Yeah.
If you zoom out a bit, the support at 1683 never saw any. I mean, there's a huge fucking gap there. So I would assume it would at least come down and sweep below 1733. It's not gonna just go up only.
Yeah.
You know, maybe even sweep. Oh no, yeah, 1683. But yeah, I mean, even if it didn't go that low, I would at least look for the sweep at 1730. That local support there.
Yeah, something like this.
Yeah, it's like got a whole rise and wedge thing going. I'm sure there's probably bear divs. Yeah, looks like it's probably gonna be a good entry on that somewhere below. Yeah, 1730.
Do you trade this or you just chart it?
No, I don't trade it. It's got clean action though. Like that deviation was clean. Like what was that? Like a couple weeks ago? Let me see.
Yeah, October.
Yeah, it was really clean, but no, I don't trade it, man. It's hard. It's hard to, like I'll look at charts for all these other asset classes, but man, like when you're trading like Bitcoin or crypto, it's like I don't know. There's just so much volatility. Like, what's the point in going
Wait,
on?
have you been around the past week, sir?
What have you been trading?
Are we looking at the same asset? So I think the last one we wanted to check out was fucking Exxon Mobil.
Oh,
Bullish
yeah,
fucking.
yeah.
Oh my god, it came up. It hit our mid range before the pullback.
Yep.
You guys are charting Exxon Mobil? Jesus Christ!
Did you ever see this chart?
Dude, this chart's nuts.
This
No.
chart is fucking insane. Look at this fucker.
I think it was Dax maybe in chat that brought it to my attention first.
Dude, November 20.
What's the
You're-
ticker? XOM.
You're up 200% on a fucking. What is it, probably
one
a
of the biggest
billion-dollar company, multi-billion-dollar company.
Holy shit! It actually did go up only since like September of 20.
Yeah,
this
like the
shit's-
COVID low, I think.
Yeah.
This shit is fucking Chad as hell. So there's actually a couple guys like back when I started and I was just like Wall Street bets degenning shit. I had no idea what I was doing. There's a couple guys that was like probably actually pretty talented at doing some like degen option trading. And I still like kind of like check in on their Reddit profile sometimes, and I definitely see them like playing a lot of options around like Exxon Mobil, Tesla, shit like that.
Yeah.
Did you start on Wall Street Bets like before crypto?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. When what was that? What 2020, 2021?
It was like 2020, like high. The highs in 2020.
Nice.
Yeah, because I
Perfect.
remember. This is no joke. Let me see. What is the BlackBerry? Is it just BB?
Oh yeah, that's
Dude.
a Wall Street Bets
Oh yeah,
favorite.
yeah. So I remember.
This has made many
see
people
this?
homeless.
You see this? This is where I started trading. I bought like. So I worked.
That's the retirement destroyer right there.
Yes, listen to this. I worked throughout school as a contractor for like a very good corporation, and I got paid like corporate pay as a college student. I was making a full salary, and like I worked that for like 18 months. I had literally saved over like 100 grand in college just from like working, right? I took like 50, 60 grand in calls here. And like, I remember I was walking to the post office and like my calls were over like 300-400 grand. And I remember when I came back into my apartment and checked again, I was down like so much money. I was down like 50%. I was down like 30 grand. And like when I was walking, I saw it. I was like, this stock thing's so easy. Like I'm already up like 3-4x. Like, well, I don't even know why I'm in college. Literally like 40 minutes later, entire life changed, down like a year's work.
Jesus.
Fucking hilarious. So yeah, this is where it started, and then like I lost all that money, obviously, and that's like what gave me the incentive to start trading. Is like I was like, I can't let them take all of my money and I don't make it back. So yeah, it's fucking hilarious. This is so bad.
When did you switch from like calls and Wall Street Bet shit to like actually like perps, crypto perps?
Literally, I started trading crypto perps in like that May crash in 2021.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's the first time I really started trading. I mean, I traded here. I think you can call it trading. It was fucking gambling.
Not
think
much
that's what
gain.
most people do.
So death. So bad. All right. Hopping into ES, I guess. There's nothing else to cover, right? We can VIX. Check out the VIX. Yeah, so we're fucking at the lows here. I mean, fuck.
Yep.
You might bleed off a bit, but I mean, I expect like at least up into like 28. Let's see what happens up here. Fuck. I mean, dude, it's just like yeah, it's level to level though. So it would make sense for us to get like some major volatility coming in on early in the week, and it makes sense too because we have a lot of news events, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyone have that list? I think.
I was going to ask the same thing. I asked chat earlier and they didn't deliver.
Yeah,
Let
where's
me-
the calendar?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I got it here. I should have it here. So we have Monday. We have Fed budget during the market open. Tuesday we have core CPI at market open. Wednesday FOMC. Thursday we have jobless claims, and then Friday we have PMI. So it's
Are you
every
serious?
fucking day this week.
Is
Yeah.
this a joke?
No, every fucking day. It's gonna be a fucking crazy ass week.
Yeah, it's not helpful. I don't need that. I mean, it's helpful for volatility, but maybe we spread it out, right? Then we
Yeah.
get more volatility.
Yeah, they
for
said,
longer.
how do we hammer the entire market?
Oh, they gotta cram it all in before the year end.
Yeah,
Actually, that makes
I mean that
sense.
might
No,
actually
that
be it.
is.
Yeah,
that is it.
All the hedge fund managers are like, all right, my bonus depends on me dumping all of my losses
basically.
the day before.
Dude, market open. ES is fucking toast. Well, yeah, let's check it out though. I mean, fucking still rejecting.
Has there ever been a Santa rally like in the last like 10 years? Because
I don't. I
I'm
think it's
trying
like
to
one of those things that
understand.
happened one time. Like it's that phenomenon where it happens one time and people are like, it happens every year. It's like,
Every
dude, I know. Yeah, I don't think that that's actually a thing.
See, like New Year rally would be more like would just make more intuitive sense for me. That like why rally in December other than if like it's like I don't know shorts closing or I don't know.
Santa.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Santa.
Santa.
The fucking elves, boys.
Everybody got bull market on your wish list.
Coal. But
Did you
no.
say long coal? Do we have coal on the charting list?
Nice. Bullish on
Coal
coal.
futures.
Yeah, so ES is kind of still within this range bound environment, right? So you got 3 levels. You got February highs and lows, and then these, what is this, December lows, and then February lows, just bouncing in between. You got deviations here and a little bit of deviation here, but aside from that, you're really between 4,600 and 3,600, this 1,000-point range. And I'm still very much under the impression that it's gonna be kind of one of these things where it's just like years of sideways action.
Hooray.
It's kind of what just makes the most sense. But yeah, essentially, what are we looking at here? I think you come back down, kind of retest 38.50 maybe. Hopefully get a reaction out of here. But for any upside, you would obviously need to break out of this macro downtrend from, this is the all-time highs. Get back above the February lows, probably hold. Clear out this gap at 42.20 and head for those February highs. So again, it's just kind of level to level. I think if you get a clean reclaim of February lows, you just pull a fib and kind of aim for mid-range and see what happens there. So like You know,
Seems good.
43.50 or so if you break above February highs. But you know, for right now, it's kind of level to level. I've actually been thinking about trading some like options with ES because ES has been charting like super cleanly, especially on like the hourly. Like a lot of this is very much clean. I mean, you got very obvious
Yeah, I mean,
range.
options are the best way to get leverage on something like that, basically.
Yeah. You know, it's like actually degen stuff, but like for real. Like I feel like there's really easy opportunities that I'm personally just missing out on. Like while this is happening and crypto is moving like 5 and 10 points, I feel like I could be capturing some like intraday like options moves and like making, you know, a couple grand here and there pretty easily. But who fucking
Yeah, I
What
mean,
knows?
would you use? What, TD?
Yeah.
degen is a. I mean, it depends on what you're. Degenning a smaller account is, you know, maybe not degenerate. Maybe that's just good capital management by not having to deposit more money to not be degenerate, right? So it just depends on how much you're depositing too.
Yeah, it's something to think about. Maybe I just split that 50-50, that 100K up into like 50-50. Option degen 1. Might do that. I was talking to Trex, and I know he's been playing around some with like some ES options or futures, but they use like margin, which is like I guess different than like leverage. Technically
I'm not.
speaking.
I mean, you can you can margin options, right? In fact, if you're going to naked short, you have to be on margin because there's no limit to your loss. So basically, you have to have some. But I mean, you can have. I mean, I think most options are going to be just like you have to pay the entire premium. But in theory, you could have margined options. But there, I mean, there's a whole ES futures, right? ES mini.
Yeah,
But
but
you
don't you
have
need like
to
a certain
get
amount of
approved.
money to
Yeah, you have to have.
Yeah.
Well, you have to get approved, and typically to get approved, you have to have a decent size deposit.
do you know roughly what that is?
Probably around 100K.
Yeah.
I got rejected, and I had like 60 or 70K. So I don't know. That was it was like right after the COVID crash, though.
I
So
love the fucking
they may have
gatekeeping.
just.
It's actually just
Yeah.
disgusting.
They asked me how much experience I had trading like futures and stuff, and so I was like, "Oh, I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years." And then they're like, "No, you haven't." It's a lie.
They just
Bullshit.
called your bullshit like
Basically, yeah,
Liar.
right away.
yeah. They basically called me a
You're
liar.
18,
So that was
4
that.
years of trading experience. Okay, yeah, sure. Robinhood would have approved you.
Instantly.
Instantly.
Yeah.
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 Hindsight. I was trying to stay classy with the TD Ameritrade. Little did I know.
It was a mistake.
Yeah. They're like
I do actually think Trex is saying Schwab approved 50K instant. I actually do think that that TD Ameritrade is stricter for whatever that's worth. I think Schwab is easier.
Yeah.
And then obviously Robinhood doesn't give a fuck.
No, Robinhood now gives you a match on an IRA so that people will start gambling their retirement accounts.
Pretty cool.
Nice.
It's
Fantastic.
fucking awesome.
Yeah. Hello, Dad. Yeah.
Ugh. I was doing some options on Fidelity, or at least trying to. They have like 12 different tiers for like the amount of access you get to options, and
Holy
it's
shit.
just like so much paperwork.
TD
and, like, the
Ameritrade has that
application.
too. Yeah.
Oh, it's
It's
unreal.
different tiers. Like you can sell covered,
Yep.
covered calls only, or you can buy calls, but you can't sell covered calls, or you can do both, or you can do like naked you can sell naked or whatever, but that requires, I mean, you're never gonna get approved for that. So yeah,
I think I might go to Robinhood, to be honest. Just fucking
I mean,
dude, their UI is like so nice. Like it's
do they
so
have a
easy.
website at this point?
I
haven't
think they
obviously-
do.
Yeah, they do. I
but-
think they do.
They didn't. I mean,
I've
'cause
logged in.
they didn't used to. Like
Yeah.
there was a significant period of time where there was only a mobile app.
Dude, their mobile app is like makes
crack.
buying and selling shit so fun. I don't know why.
Oh,
To be
I
honest,
honestly feel like they got like Instagram designers or like casino designers to help make
no, but
Robinhood.
I mean, I think it was probably worth it. Like, if anything pushed the industry to stop. Do you know what like UI? I mean, it still is really bad for some brokers, but like they all used to be bad. It was
Yeah.
literally like a
I
Google
mean,
form. It
TD's
was
still
like
pretty shit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Schwab's like normie form is really bad too. The thing is that most of them, what they've done is they've left the really bad like Google Forms like where they are, and they've made like quote unquote pro, where they
Yeah.
bought pro terminal type
Oh yeah.
platforms. So like TD Ameritrade does, I think, Thinkorswim. That's what it's called, which doesn't
Oh,
suck
I do
completely.
remember that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thinkorswim is pretty good.
Thinkorswim is pretty good because they bought it. They didn't make it from scratch.
Slam, you have any ES or SPY or SPX charts? You're looking at any levels?
Yeah, for SPY, yeah, I mean SPY is basically like I'm looking at like a 3,800 for a long. Not that I'm long in it, but that's where I'd be looking for it.
Yeah, so basically down like
Yeah, I think you said
sweep.
3,850, right? Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Kind of a
With
sweep scenario.
maybe a little bit of a tap into like mid 3,700s as like an extreme. Like a
Yes.
wick.
Sell off with the fucking news.
Yeah, and then as far as like shorts on that shit, like probably 4370 is gonna be a killer short. You got like this whole downtrend. The bear OTE would be anywhere from like 4570 down to like 4370. So it's a huge range, but
Yeah, I think somewhere in here would be like a good short. I think you could see it top out. We can leave
yeah,
this for like a next.
that's like the point, right where that zone is like the 0.62 fib right there, which is probably going to be like a huge short, probably all the way down, like safely probably down to at least like 4080.
Yeah, February lows.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's also this small gap here. Right here at 40.20, which I think you might see an interesting reaction off of. I think you might fill and then come back down super hard. So I don't know. I think we've laid out some key levels here on ES. You know, pullback would be here, just so people see something like that. Breakout play would be something like this. So that's really all there is. Aside from that, probably just sideways chop between, you know, these two ranges. So just mark out these ranges, and happy days, you're golden.
Happy days.
All right, let's get on to the butt corn that everyone likes.
Oh yeah.
There we go. There we go, baby.
So
I was on my phone the other day. I'm eating something. I'm hungry. I was on my phone the other day trying to get a time frame that actually let me see this like little scrunchie we're doing over here, and it's been forever.
oh,
You have
this
to go to like the weekly or the that whole
Yeah.
when did we drop from 30 to 20? What was that day?
June, early June.
Cursed.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Didn't that happen during when I was visiting?
I think that was right about
Oh
then.
yeah.
That
I
was
think it might have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
right. It was Celsius and everything.
Yeah.
The euros.
Tesla was selling too, right? Didn't
Yeah.
it come out that they had been selling?
Yeah.
Good
So
times.
Yeah, great times.
So chat, follow along. Mark out a couple important ranges. This bearish retest back in 2018 is an important level to me. The bottom wick of this weekly candle here at like 12,800 is going to be a very key level if we break down. Then hopping over into like the current time frame, current range that we're looking at. You want to mark out the range highs in August at 25.2. 3-day high of where our breakdown is at 21.4. 3-day low of this range, which would be like 18.2. The range low in June, 17.5. There's a weekly order block here before the initial bull run. There's this candle here where we ran some stops, rebought, and then entered to, you know, the all-time highs. That's right around 16.2. And weekly order block, and then the previous pressure test. So these are all the levels that I'm kind of working with. And I'm kind of like keeping things a little bit higher time frame, at least me personally, for these conditions, just because volume's so low. I think it's really easy to get blown out on like really small moves. So with these key levels, it's like, you know, from a higher time frame perspective, what are we looking for? Just using these. Basically, on the 3-day, we only want wicks below this weekly order block low, and ideally below this previous all-time high bearish retest. So only wicks are allowed below here for me, or else my bias probably flips. And until we get back above this 3-day low, I think we're just working within this range to accumulate. We also have a higher time frame downtrend here that's been providing us like these weekly bullish divs that started, you know, back in June. So, you know, every single time, bottom to the top, bottom to the top, bottom to the top, bottom. And in theory, we would come up to the top, but it doesn't mean that we can't come back down and then come up just like we did here. But ultimately, right, like whether it's just a matter of time before we come into this downtrend here once again. So I think these are some
like pro
like
trader, you caught each of those on 100x.
Yeah, so
I know I did.
Yeah, perfectly. Yeah, just the tip too. Just the tip too. I scaled in so that the last order was exactly 100x.
Yeah, I don't like it when people get filled past my orders. I like to be the top.
So I am the wall.
Very disrespectful.
The final pixel on the chart.
So I've been using this one as like a more of like a litmus test on like where we're at. Like I always come back here and I'm like, all right, where are we at? Like within, well, I think ultimately this will become a deviation. But it's just like, you know, having these key levels down here, like I want only closes above to remain long bias. But for the time being, like I said, this is kind of just a range down here to me from like 18.2 to like 16.2. I think it's like kind of a $2,000 range that we're working within. Anyone else have anything for like a higher time frame? What are you guys' thoughts? Higher time frame?
I have a couple of lower time frame charts I'm sharing in the chat right now.
All right.
Pull those up.
Sam, what are you thinking about higher time frame?
I've been kind of talking, I think, for a while about how, I mean, I don't know what higher time frame means, but bigger picture, I do think macro, it's going to be tricky to get anything like 2021 again, because like the mania we've had, every cycle has been more and more manic. And like, I don't see how we top COVID mania with Wall Street bets and lockdowns and all the printing. So, you know, I mean, there's no new money coming in right now. We can't lie to ourselves and hope there, you know, wish there was, but it's not. So what I do think though is that we can still ping pong between where we are now and even to the low 30s. And that doesn't really mean anything in terms of like macro. So, you know, and you can make a ton of money. Like that's a huge move. So I think right now we're like pretty much right at an inflection point where I'd like to see if we can get back up towards 20K. I think that will basically invalidate almost everybody who was like biased short from the FTX drama. And I'd expect us to really pump after that. So I don't know. That's about it. Otherwise, I don't see why we can't go below 10K, to be honest. Like there's no reason we have to stay above 10K.
Yeah, so that's like, I think you pointed out the good thing, like the whole like FTX thing. Like if we get back above, in my opinion, these 3-day lows, it'll be like a pretty big test, because not only will we be retesting to enter back within this range that we were working in for a while, it will have also completely wiped out or mostly wiped out all of the FTX drama. We will have likely broken out of this more macro downtrend that we've had down here for, you know, many months. and accepted back within this range. So like I think if it reclaims back into that 19-20K range, I don't see why this wouldn't be like your kind of like manipulation before like expansion.
Yeah, that'd be huge. That'd be awesome. I mean, I think it's probably more likely than nuking too far down, but right now it's who knows.
Yeah, and then just like another like last one I want to share from a higher time frame, so you guys can get into lower time frames. I really think something like this is likely. Like I've been doing that whole PO3 setup for like quite a while, where it's like accumulation, manipulation, then expansion. I've been using this a lot recently, even on lower time frames. Like I was joking around with Lat. I don't know if you
I
remember.
remember
Do you
that.
remember
I
that?
don't. I
Like
definitely
right
remember it,
here?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like, there's like a PO3 within a PO3, and it was like a joke, and then this thing fucking took off. Like I think that setup's being is happening a lot, and it's just because like it's really easy to trap people in this low volume markets. So I really think like something like this is reasonable, where you kind of like come back down, come up, come back down, and then you have like your expansion where, this was the deviation. Here's your range, and then because you
Yep.
deviated down here, you'd be deviating like higher up here. So I think something like this,
Yeah.
a higher time frame would make sense. Maybe into like Q1, Q2 of 2023, but I have a tough time believing, like we're gonna really get back into like 30, 40s. I think we'll spend like a long time down here.
Yeah, man. I actually just in the chat, I shared a higher time frame chart. I was looking for it. I have so many fucking charts. My trading view is a disaster. But yeah, man, it's funny if the PO3 setup is if you overlaid that on the chart I just shared, it's the same fucking thing. Like just
Yeah.
picture like a PO3 over that, and like this is just a deviation, all this chop down here, and then it's just if we reclaim, like 17.5, 18K. I mean, we could trend up, but I don't think it's gonna be anything rapid. It's gonna take time. This fucking market's beat up, and I think people forget that. Like especially like FTX was like the icing on the cake. I mean, they were so over levered with everything they were doing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
this market is so damaged, and people are like, we'll see a new all-time high in like a year. Like I think we're lucky if we see 40K in a year. Like I don't know what these people are smoking, but like it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you're trading, you're long and shorting, like there's still money to be made, There's still plenty of volatility. But
Give me super cycle. The fuck.
No,
yeah.
this is where investing
Oh,
is.
Sam.
Yeah, what's up?
Sam, sorry to interrupt. Did you see Scalper rated us? I don't know if you saw
Oh,
that.
did he? Awesome.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
Well,
So
thank
shout
you,
out to
That's
sir.
awesome.
Thank you,
I was
buddy.
slurping down noodles. No, I
Didn't
think
see.
we're pretty investors are kind of fucked. There's not like, I mean, what are you supposed to do as an investor? But it's okay. We're not investors. It's fine. So, I think there will be periods of high volatility. I think the main thing is that when there's not volatility, you need to not fuck yourself. Giving away all your money on shitty trades is not, is the biggest thing here.
Yeah, like stop fucking positioning yourself with like size whenever it's I mean, guys, look at this 5 minute. Like stop getting in like positions that are sizable here.
One of the biggest hacks here, and I've been talking about it a little bit, and I need to do it. I need to withdraw. But when you trade with too much margin, you have like this sort of like margin cushion, and it makes trading feel really easy. And you can get into shitty positions all the time that are in mid range, like nothing. And then you're like, well, whatever. I have extra margin. I'll just add if it goes down, or if it goes up if you're short. And obviously the problem with that is that your tail risk is going to eventually fuck you, and even if you make a couple percent consistently for whatever a month, if you lose it all because of that tail risk that you are now holding, you're not winning. If you trade with a small balance, you might blow up that account a lot trying to catch good trades that maybe are like high R but low probabilistic outcome. But what'll happen eventually is you'll run up one of those accounts pretty fast. That once you get on a winning streak, and then if you can withdraw and start over, I think that is one of the best ways to make money in a bear market.
Yep, and that's what I like. We always do like the challenge accounts for fun, but it's like
there's never been a better time.
It's like a good idea.
It's a bull market's great to compound your winnings in like a big account and long all the shit coins and use cross collateral and hope it all just multiplies. But in a bear market, yeah, use small accounts and see what you can run up.
Yeah, and it's like also like I mean conditions are continuously getting more difficult regardless of what anyone says. And in like an ever hardening market, you obviously lose your edge over time. Unless if you're obviously refining, but like, there's not a whole lot to edge to have like with this type of price action. So it's like your edge probably isn't the equivalent of what it was like back here, right? So using that smaller account, like you can obviously try different things, trading styles, or try different charting methods, or whatever it is. And you can kind of have like a little bit more fun with it. And I think now more than ever is a time to kind of like hunker down and like do more like things to better yourself as a trader, opposed to like making a lot of money. No one's going to get rich here. Like this is not where you're gonna get rich. So there's no reason to try and like be making like $100,000 per fucking trade. Like
What?
Well, and
yeah, what?
you might roll the problem. What sucks, not what sucks. The problem is that you might roll the dice and get lucky and win a few of those like trades, and then that sort of like makes you think that you know what you're doing, or that it's safe to keep going, right?
Sorry, I really have to take profit. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, my lights went off too. I'm gonna go get some more food.
Yeah, so basically
Intermission.
okay,
Yeah, I'm gonna go
intermission.
take a piss.
Hold up.
No, I don't know. It's up to you.
I'll
if
trade
you're good.
live. Yeah, I'll trade live. Intermission.
All right.
All right.
I'm
So
gonna get more food. I'll be back in like 3 minutes.
the challenge account, guys. Slam started one, right? You're up pretty good on it.
Yeah, up like 75, 80%. Started with 10K like 3 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah. So
It's not like a crazy challenge. I'm not doing like crazy shit like what you're doing. Yours is like
well,
ridiculously.
I think it's I'm about to like resize down though, to be honest, just from like what we were talking about with Sam. I think I might like do half spot and then half like there's no I mean up here this was like 40 Bitcoin. Like you saw it, it's like 40 fucking Bitcoin. I was out eating barbecue this morning. Today on my phone. I was like, fuck. Like this volume sucks.
Yeah.
Get blown the fuck out like so easily. But yeah, I think, like for chat, a really good option is just start your own challenge account. Because like you should be able to make money regardless of the number that you have. And like we always say this, but like if you have more money doesn't mean you're gonna like it doesn't make it easier to trade. That's like a huge fallacy.
Oh no, definitely not. And I mean these books are so thin, it's fucking harder. I mean, unless you're doing like swing trades, it's hard.
Yeah, and that's why like I kept pointing out like I really wanted to cover the high time frame charts. Whenever we get back, if you got some charts to share, toss them in. We can do like low time frame intra week setups. But yeah, it's like I'm really just looking like higher time frame. I mean, I was talking about it to you, the other day. Like I'm not even really watching aggro that much anymore, which is really rare because I think I've lived on aggro the past 18 months, like literally every single day. Like all I do is stare at the feed, but it's almost not even worth it now.
Yeah. You were dumping pretty good here.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, and just a reminder, guys, in chat, I don't know if it's going to affect many, but the whole Bybit thing, if you're worried about getting more than 100K off a month, I would suggest siphoning a bit of funds off onto somewhere else. Doesn't have limitations. Yeah, so
yeah.
Did we get an announcement or anything, Luke, from Bybit about that? I mean, I know other than the public.
It was just an email. Yeah, it was just an email.
We don't have any more info than anybody.
No. I wish.
All right, so yeah, Flam, if you want to toss in some charts while I go over my low time frame charts, and then we can toss and compare. So yeah, kind of what I see. I don't know. I see kind of this rising wedge that we had here. Breakdown. It's a fucking brutal rejection too. There's a lot of liquidity sitting under this. Like, you got to think that these are very much level to level plays. Like this current market conditions that we're in are literally like range bound level to level trading, and it's just liquidity driven market more than ever before, right? So just like any easy stop points, like you can just expect them to get taken if price ends up moving away from, you know, the previous support or resistance. So like easy targets for me would be take out these stops here at the lows, kind of come back into this order block. And also something to look at is, assuming this is a deviation, this has not been retested yet. Like we've literally not retested this initial breakout from 16.2. It got front ran here at 16.65 or so, but we haven't really retested this down here. So I would really like to see price come back into maybe 16.5 to 16.2. I think you slice through that, get a huge dump. I think this probably should hold here. And then, you know, I don't know what happens with the news and stuff, but I don't think we make a new low this week. I think it might look something like that. That would be, you know, like a downtrend continuation a little bit more. Essentially what you'd see is here, and then you get your breakout. Here would be your breakout. Kind of look to TP up in here. Then if we get back above this 16.3, 16.4, you target into 18.1 to like 18.5. So it's right here. If we get back above this range.
What would you say your average price move is for a trade on Bitcoin nowadays?
Like now,
yeah,
I'm looking like 300 to 500 points. Like
yeah.
I'm just sitting in stuff. And what I actually noticed is pretty fucking shit too, is like the funding I'm fucking paying is ridiculous. Let me see.
I'm not even paying attention.
All right.
It's better to live that way.
You guys can see my screen?
Yeah.
Look at this funding. Like fucking $500 I've paid in funding on this trade. The fuck?
Wow.
What the fuck, right?
What is the funding right now? Funding rate is now 0.05%. Yeah. 8 hours. Yeah. That's a lot.
Dude.
That's like a taker fee every, you know, a little bit less than a taker fee every 8 hours.
I mean, like whatever, like the trade's making money. Well, let's say this trade didn't make money, right? Like that's just salt on the wound. So yeah, that's
the nice thing about funding is it is peer-to-peer. So like in theory, your funding should, like you should average out. Some of your trades you'll get paid funding. Some of your trades.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
So over the course of a lot of trades, you'll probably do okay on funding. It's not as bad as fees. Fees are worse, but sometimes funding can be a problem.
Yeah, I saw like this. It was like Binance funding chart where it's like funding now is like some of the worst that it's been since like the all-time highs. Did you see that chart?
I haven't seen it, no.
Yeah, where like the amount of funding being paid by Binance users is like at all-time highs or some shit.
Jesus. Wow.
Interesting. I wonder what is going on there.
Yeah, it was I don't know if you guys follow, like I think his name's like Guts or something. Guts Aaron.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, he does like a lot of OI stuff and like funding. I think that's his edge, but he's a pretty good trader. Anyways, yeah, so I'm looking for kind of the sweep into this 16.5 to 16.2, something like this. Then it's just, you know, again, range bound condition. This would be your deviation. This is the range that we're working with here and here. That's really it for Bitcoin. There's not too much stuff. I mean, if we break below this 16.2, it's probably gonna get a bit slippery. You would want to see it caught obviously within here. But macro, you know, macro levels below would be that 12.8 that I had lined out over here. 12,800 would be kind of like my macro downtrend, but I really do think that we probably test this channel up here before we retest the channel down here. So even if we get a pullback here, I think you might see something like this.
Yeah, I think I was going to say the biggest thing is probably don't underestimate how difficult they quote unquote they can make it to catch a big move here. Like there's no law that says there can only be so many fake outs.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
every move, you know, trust it. Basically, don't trust it. Right? Don't think this is it. This is the time it's going to break down. Or no, this is it. This is the time it's going to break out. I've fucked myself so many times because I'm like, well, I've fucked this trade up so many times already in this range that I have to catch the next move out of the range because like I owe it, like I'm owed a win because of how many times I've chopped myself
Yeah,
in the
God
range.
damn it. ICE is the one.
I've already paid the price to be in the trade by getting chopped. Now I must catch the win. And that is so dangerous. You get yourself fucked that way. So don't even get there. Don't think that it has to break down the next time it goes below 16K, and don't think it has to break out the next time it goes above 17 or above whatever. 17.5, I guess.
It could have never been me.
I've not done that once in my life. Not even once.
Slam, do you have any charts? You wanna share?
Yeah, man, I got this. Well, I already shared 3 of them in the chat earlier.
Yeah, he sent him in the Twitch chat. You
Oh,
have to scroll out.
those things are long gone. Retoss.
Nah, man, we're not that popular anymore. Bear market. There's only like a few great stewards.
Okay, I
found him.
I found him too.
Hold on.
We're good.
Oh, fuck you.
Okay, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, basically just the fib OTE local fib ranges. It's the first range is the higher zone is what 16.4, which is basically where you're looking at too. But I think if things want to get like real dicey, if they really want to squeeze the bulls, they could bring it all the way down below like 16. What is that? 2?
Yeah.
16.2, yeah.
So you think like in between your little boxes they could wick into?
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and like it's funny because like my initial impression when I do these charts and like I especially when I use a lot of fibs, I find like multiple entry zones, like what you see on this chart. And it's funny, more times than not, I'm always like, it's not gonna go to that more extreme one. That seems too much. And like I can't tell you how many times I'm like, those motherfuckers. Like it gets pushed to extremes over and over and over again.
And it'll fake out, like it won't hit the extreme for a long time, and you'll be like, okay, fuck, it's not gonna hit it. And then you get in and then it hits it.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, man. Like you know, it's like they test your patience. Like you said, whoever they is, like the fucking market. The whales, the market makers.
The market makers.
Yeah, I fucking hate saying that, but it's like, you know, it's true though. Like it always takes it, you know, these moves tend to take longer than I think they will take. And more times than not, things get pushed to extremes. And I'm always like, nah, it won't go there. Like it seems extreme, even though my TA says it. Like I don't know. I don't think so. And then like a few days later, a week later, 2 weeks later, it's like it's just a bloodbath and it'll go all the way down and then like it'll get bought right back up. And I'm like, oh great, it was in my chart. Too bad I didn't trade it. Like, you know, so that's kind of where I'm at. Those are the 2 zones that I'm really looking at. I mean, I think there's at the very least, I think there should be a good bounce around 16.4, 16.5, somewhere around there. And then you have like, I mean, I'm not really big into like just the simple retail patterns, but you kind of have like a little bull flag there. And yeah, I mean, I think that could be a good long zone.
I think I really like this setup, to be honest. Like,
yeah, I mean, you could see it took the liquidity up top yet again. And I feel like there's just more liquidity below.
Yeah, and I think this is like, and like I'm like a meme pattern trader. Except like you just gotta learn like the subtleties of it. And this is like really perfect, like, you know, bull flag within a range to kind of send us to that deviation on the highs. And then, you know, you have the high and low deviation. It's kind of a range bound play at the end of the day.
Yeah, like it's super simple. Like if you just stick to like range concepts, like all this shit does is it just ranges all the time. you know, everything's ranging. Yeah, especially now more than like with the lower volume, it's ranging rather than like any serious trends. So it's just like, you know, but like pairing up like some kind of simple range TA with like some lick deltas or something, and like you kind of have like more than enough data to make trades. And then if you just manage your risk, it's like I mean, it's easier said than done, obviously.
Okay.
But
I don't want to call any specific accounts out, but while we're talking about not longing here, there are 3 posts on my screen about getting long. So we have
Oh, SM.
hourly
There's
RSI
been-
blown out. Don't have high like this setup. And then we have this one getting long. So I'm not getting long now. I'm gonna go ahead and wait. I'm gonna sit in some shorts. Because the chances of 3 setups coming onto my feed within like the span of 3 minutes
Yeah.
doesn't add a whole lot of
I mean, if you look on like a lower time frame, like an hourly, this is I mean, it's kind of clean for a bounce. Hold on, let me hang on a chart.
On hourly, it looks. Yeah, I agree. On hourly, it actually looks.
It's kind of look like it's just retesting the deviation. Let me
yeah, because you'd have this like
right. Yeah, that's what I'm trying
And
to.
it's holding. It's kind of holding that like 900 level pretty well.
yeah,
I
so
don't know, we'll
people
see.
are like, "Welp, oh, here, it's gonna bounce."
The problem though, like you were saying, like when you see everybody taking the same trades on the feed. I mean, I know like crypto Twitter is like not the entire market, and sometimes I have to remember that, but but still, like I don't
Yeah.
like being in a trade with everyone else.
And like,
like the masses always lose. Like, why do I want to be in a trade with everyone?
yeah,
Like,
and also like I don't know, man. Like fucking, this is such a like. How many
I
times
think
has this
it's
market?
very mid range. It's like it's yeah.
How many times? How many people are like, "All right, long here"? I mean, just because it's a logical setup. Like I completely agree, but I'm trying to like kind of shift my thinking, and it's probably gonna be difficult to like shift out of the thinking. And this is what I mean by like, smaller accounts, like trying to like shift your trading a little bit. Like I've been taking trades that aren't like overly obvious because it's like, yes, this could still be a nice play. Like, you have your stop here and you kind of aim for a retest of like 17.1. Like that's like a 200-point move. You have like 150-point risk. And that's probably a decent play, but it's like how many people are like, all right, my stop goes here. I mean, obviously they're going to go for the fucking stops. Because that's like really the last place where clean stops were,
Yeah.
Like where else in this chart are there clean stops below? I mean, besides, the lows. I mean, stops are probably all around here. So this is like the last area where there's a clean set of stops. So I don't know. I'm going to be sticking out my shorts for the time being. Let's round trip them. But yeah, that's kind of Bitcoin for me. Oh, wait, you had one more chart. So you think like there could be a possibility to rerun the highs?
yeah, man, I think you don't see people talk about deviations on trend lines or diagonals too often, but they do happen quite a bit. It's like the fake out, like to kind of like bait the bears into shorting, and then that just provides liquidity for like one final blow off. And I do think there's a possibility that there's work to be done above still, and like that little diagonal like blue rectangle there, I think could be like a little deviation, and it comes back up, it reclaims, and it just smashes out that first round of shorts and
kind of trade into these wicks, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we'll make it all the way up to like the 18, what is that, 18.1, that wick all the way up there. But I think there's room to push. I really do. But it's hard to say. I mean, right now it's like it's range bound. We've already tapped a lot of liquidity on the top side of the smaller range, which is not outlined on this chart. But yeah, I mean that's kind of like a setup that I'm looking at that not too many people are looking at yet. I don't see this kind of setup on a lot of charts right now. Everybody's looking to short, I feel like, because they're all looking at the same shit, like the sweep of 16.4. But I think this could just have like huge potential to get shorts to pour in, and it never reaches 16.4, and it just smashes back up and just blows everyone out, and then it comes down to like 16.4, 16.3, 16.2, and then it then maybe we start to get a nice healthy uptrend.
I mean, you are getting some major bull divs.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's a good spot for a bounce. So like, I don't know. It's hard, man. These markets are fucking they're tough right now, you know.
Oh, I know. I know, bro. Like, I'm here with you.
yeah. It's I mean, I don't know. Then you look at like the wick, like you see like that's one chart that I shared earlier was actually Bitfinex, which had like a random wick all the way up to
Yeah.
17.
The liquidity's so fucked.
It's so like it's such a mess is what I'm trying to say. Like I have like 5 different charts and like they have like 5 different zones. Like what is going on here? I don't know, but I think at the end of the day, if you just keep it simple, identify ranges, look for liquidity, and like manage your risk, which sometimes I'm good at, sometimes I'm not so good at. But
What is that?
Risk manage.
Risk?
that was like when I did the 10K challenge account. Like the first like 3 or 4 days, I was going like a fucking madman. I don't know if it was like pressure from like because it was like totally visible. I have it on like a trading dashboard that people can watch and shit. I like drew this shit down like I don't know like 45%. And I'm like, oh, this is not a good look for the group. And I've since like reeled it in and but yeah, man, like everybody's looking for that 16.4 sweep. I don't know if it's gonna come so easy. Or I'm sorry, 16.7 sweep.
So aside, like, I mean, I guess Sam, you're managing like speaking about managing risk. You said you're gonna downsize the account soon.
Oh, I mean, I ran up. I kind of had like a decent winning streak. Was I guess end of last month around the whole FTX drama.
Yeah.
So I was like similar thing, something like 5K or something, up to like 60, I think, something like that. And that's like been my only real good winning streak this year because I wasn't really trading most of the year, and then obviously I chopped myself up a bit over the summer and then just stopped again. Focused on TL Street and stuff. But yeah, so I don't see any reason. I have too much margin in the account now. I keep talking about not using too much margin. So I think I'll do that tonight.
Yeah, I know. And I guess that's kind of what you're doing. Like, I guess everyone here is just like removing the possibility of liquidity in their account as like risk management.
Well, I don't know, because like I like to. I mean, I'm using cross, obviously. I've always used
yeah.
cross, and I use stops, obviously, as well. But sometimes things get sloppy in the moment, and it's a lot easier to lose more than you intended to when the money's in your account than when it's not.
Yeah.
Like I don't have. There's no situation where I'd want to lose the money I have in my trading account in a day. Like there's no trade worth that risk right now. So why do I have it in the trading account when I could just redeposit it if I need it?
Makes sense.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, and it's also tough too right now because there's a lot of times like I'll be watching the trade and like just because of the low liquidity, I won't set a stop. Like I'll just be watching and like I'll close it manually. But these books are so fucking thin that sometimes that goes against you so quick. You're like, holy shit. Like the wick down and like it never gets bought back.
right.
And that's happened to me like a lot of times lately. And it's hard, and then I'll use stop.
And it can go against you with no complacency, like reversion at all. Like, so it can go straight down and you don't even get a chance to bounce off and get out.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, okay.
Right, exactly.
Like,
exactly.
We're like $800 lower now, and it's never gonna bounce.
Gaps.
Yeah.
And then you're stuck.
I mean, this hasn't been a big move, but there has been almost no bounce.
Right.
In how many points is this? Like 300-400 point move.
Right. It's just straight down.
Yeah. So I think manually stopping's a bit of a fucking slippery slope.
Well, it's interesting because like when the money was pouring in mid 2021, man, you could always get out on a bounce. Like,
yep.
I don't think there was even the biggest, like, obviously, if you get liquidated before it bounces, you're fucked. But depending on how you're risking and what kind of, like, if you have money in your account that you can afford to lose, kind of like waiting it out underwater did pay like enough to the point where like people got, including me, got really comfortable waiting on that bounce
Scuba
to get
diving.
out. Yeah, it worked. I mean,
what-
maybe that's a bad thing to say, but it did work for a really long time.
Well,
Where
I
you could
think
basically always get out.
I think the higher the liquidity, the higher probability of mean reversion helping you out.
Right.
Mm,
Yes.
yeah.
The problem
Yep.
is these books are
Great point.
shot. These books are
Right.
wrecked. I mean, they were wrecked before FTX crumbled. Like
Yep.
now, it's just like forget about it. Like that, it's ugly, and I don't think a lot of traders pay too much mind to like liquidity and how thin books are and how it affects price movement. Like it's
Yeah.
really ugly, but they're just like, oh, it just didn't go my way. It didn't go the direction I thought. It's like, yeah, but like literally, like it really, like, I don't want to say price shouldn't move in the way it does, because it, like, it moves however it's supposed to move, like it's a market. But yeah, like when you have thin books, like some of this action is just disgusting, man. Like it's it's really ugly, and it's easy to forget too. Like when you're just like sitting there, you got like all this available margin. It's easy to get wrapped up into it, and then you're like trying not to get your stops hunted. So like, I'll just do a manual stop, mental stop, you know, and then you get blown out like so quick. And like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
you know, and then
Martingaling all the way down.
yeah, been there.
Down to 0.
And just like a reminder, like you understand that, like, what is this? 100 points is like over 0.5% now. Like
Yeah.
price is so low that like the smallest movement is like in terms of percent, it's pretty significant.
Yep.
And the last thing I just wanted to say about risk before we move on to like ETH or something is something that I did do for like a little while that actually helped me out whenever I was like getting a bit wild was have 2 accounts. The one account has less money, and
Yep.
you start bidding early on with that account with less money. And then
My favorite.
whenever that account is like really underwater, you start bidding on the other account. It's usually like a good
It's a good
entry.
hack.
Well, yeah, man, that's funny because like I've done similar strategies where like wherever I think I want to go full size, I'll like cap my like I don't practice this regularly. I should, but it's like, okay, I feel like I should go full size here, and it's like I should just go like 20% size because like I'm never gonna time it right. I'm always entering too early. So yeah, a lot of this shit with risk is just like protecting your capital from yourself.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
we're humans and we're fucking emotional, and even
Not
the
me.
there's
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
like, no, like balls deep. This is the move, balls deep.
Well, and like there's a lot of narratives that get fuck you too, and everyone's like, you know, the secret is to know when to risk on. And it's like, yeah, except for sometimes not. Like maybe focus on like when to not risk on.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. It's just a lot of like it's a lot of people saying different things, and you have to kind of like make your own decisions and figure out how to manage your own risk, and don't listen to any one person. Don't, you know, follow anybody else's trades individually, but kind of like absorb the whole idea.
Yeah.
I mean, even a move is like 45%. Like a move to 25K is like 50% move. That's bonkers.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, and
fucking
I think
crazy.
like I think when we do reclaim like 19 or 20K, like the next logical target would be like, I don't know, 26K, 27K, something like that, 28 maybe. But yeah, like you said, that's a huge move. Like there's still a lot of fun to be had in these markets, a lot of money to be made. If you don't lose your shit, which is easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, I know, I mean, aside from like shouting out our own personal accounts 1,000 times, the cold-blooded chiller, I think he like, what was the post that you linked? He ran 3K to like 300K or something.
It was something ridiculous like that. Yeah.
He's
And
incredibly
like
good.
I think it was in like 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, 4 weeks. He did like 5K to 300K or something.
It's interesting too. He posted his equity curve, his Coin Market Manager equity curve, and you can see like he made most of his gains in just like a couple of days over that period. Which is
And
great.
He managed to not lose money in between, right? Like
Correct.
not lose too much.
Yeah, and obviously he knew. Yeah. So whether that is throttling up those couple of days where he thought he had a serious edge, or if it was just like the days that he didn't have any edge, it was just like he just cut very quickly and maintained a certain balance. But that was something I noticed too. Like I'm looking at the curve, and it's like it's not just like up only. It's like up, and then like it looks like something like maybe a week or 10 days go by, and it's like flatlined, and then it goes up again, and then a little bit of a flatline for I don't know 3, 4, 5 days, and then like it just skyrockets again. But yeah, it was like something ridiculous. I think it was 3K to a 300K in 4 weeks.
That's impressive.
I mean, pretty impressive. Yeah, no doubt.
And look, guys, that was like, again, small fucking balance. It's really easy to run a small balance. Okay, it's not easy to run a small balance up. It's easier to run a small balance up than it is to like it's easier to make 3K, like 300K, than like 300K, like 3 million. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep that in mind. And like if you're trading with size, it's really fucking hard. Like even like low 7-figure size is almost non-manageable, at least for me. Like the fucking slippage on like market closing is bad. Like even that size.
Oh, I couldn't even picture doing like 6-figure sizing. Like on this challenge account, I'm doing mainly, well, I mean, I've had a few Bitcoin positions that have been like over 100K in size, but mainly like 20 to 40K per position. And the slippage is horrible. Like it's terrible, so I can't even imagine if you had like a big account that you're trying to push around on these order books. It's just, unless you're doing some kind of like swing trade and it's like super low leverage, really wide stops, and you have like layered stops, it's a mess. But yeah, I'm glad you're pulling up Ethereum, man, because I just wanted to I got to get out of here in a couple minutes, but ETH is really interesting here. I'm right here. I'm really bullish on it because if you look, there's been no sweeps of the upside.
No.
And it looks like we're retesting the range. Like that was a deviation, and we're just retesting it. And yeah, I feel good about ETH here. I like it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say ETH's trading like significantly cleaner than Bitcoin. You
Mhm.
also had like 2 breakdowns here that I liked. So like one, you had the big break, and there's like a smaller downtrend here. You kind of broke out of that. So this would be like that whole deviation that you're talking about, like the fake out. I think you could wick a little bit lower, but like a reclaim back above like 1250, I think's almost a certain long to take out 1300 highs.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
a
agree.
good time to use some stop limit orders.
What do those do?
Who knows?
Like, you have like your trigger price, and then it will set limits for you. So like it's like, okay, if on the reclaim, then I'll set limits.
Oh shit!
Oh, to
Okay.
enter. I thought you were talking about to exit. I'm like,
Oh no.
That's
Stop
trouble.
limits.
I'm gonna be honest. I was reading this Elon Musk Twitter thread and was not paying any attention.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's insane. Anyways,
Sam,
continue.
I
You're
was gonna
like
ask,
Sam. Hold on. I'm sorry to cut you off, but all Sams are alike. Like you're, Sam was doing League of Legends during his interviews. You're just reading like Elon Musk tweets.
My attention span is really bad, no doubt.
I'm sorry to cut you off. What were you saying, that?
Oh, Sam, I was gonna say, using stop limits for like trendline reclaims to get like orders in.
Yeah, I mean, it works. So a stop limit will let you enter a limit. It'll let you trigger a limit order based on trigger price somewhere else. So kind of like getting towards more of an algo style thing. Like you can use stop limit orders to kind of get that sort of like very simple algorithmic trading experience without actually linking your API keys to 3 commas and getting hacked. So
What happened there?
But in general, I do think it's probably overly complicated. I think 99% of the time people use a stop limit on accident and they meant to use a stop market. That's mostly what happens.
What happened with 3 commas?
I don't know. I don't really want to speculate because it's like not really clear. But basically, there's just been a lot of shenanigans with really low cap coins pumping and dumping on mostly Binance, but some other exchanges too. And in most of the people who have lost money on the other side of those trades are claiming that their API keys were on 3 commas. So somebody in
Okay.
theory may have, the attack would have been to essentially use the API keys to pump and dump low
Pump
cap
coins.
coins. Yeah. But
Okay.
I don't know. Anyways, 3 commas is adamant it's not them. Binance is
course.
kind of on 3 commas side though, saying it's probably not them either. I don't know. But CZ came out today and said it's just normal market behavior.
Of course.
Wait, he said that? What?
Yeah, he said that.
We're just gonna chalk this one up to completely normal market behavior.
Yes, that is what CZ said.
Yeah, it's like if you
We have no
fucking
behaving as
clue.
expected.
We have no fucking clue, so we're just gonna say it's all right. Slam, do you have any ETH charts that you want to show? I know you got a hop probably soon.
Yeah. I got actually
Maybe some ETH
BTC
BTC
chart.
action. Yeah.
Yeah, you know it.
All right. What are we looking at?
Super clean. Basically, you got once again the same setup. It's kind of like I didn't even chart it out on this, but you can see like a range. That blue zone's like a deviation, and then now there's just so many. There's just a lot of I feel like there's a lot of liquidity above on this chart.
Yeah, this is like this is almost like I almost feel like trading ETH right now makes more sense than trading Bitcoin. Like it's charting so cleanly like across the board. I haven't looked at ETH BTC like really at all. Been trying to stick with just Bitcoin for the most part, but this looks really, really good. Yeah, logically, it was just like, we chop a bit more around here. I think we almost like run it up to like 0.078. Like come up into here, like put some wicks into here. I think it's very fair.
Yeah, I think running up 0.78, 0.78 and maybe higher, but it's funny because I like the ETH BTC chart looking bullish with ETH USD also looking bullish. That you don't always see that. Sometimes it's very clear. Like the ETH USD, like you got all those highs that need to be ran. On the ETH BTC chart, you also have all those highs that need to be ran. So I just like it. I think it just makes sense that ETH could go pretty bullish.
Yeah. Also, can we talk about how above 1350 it's basically clean air to like 14s? Like,
Yeah,
this would be a huge move. Like this is gonna fill so quickly.
Yeah. That'll squeeze, I think, very, very fast.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm saying. I think this chart aligns really well with the ETH BTC chart. Like it just makes sense that Bitcoin's volatility could kind of, I don't want to say get worse because people might just start jumping off of roofs, but like I think it could. I think Bitcoin could just chill and ETH could just go on a run. That's kind of what I'm seeing when I look at both the USD and the ETH BTC charts.
So we'd assume altcoins would run too then, right?
Correct. Yeah, I always use ETH BTC
Well.
as kind of like an indicator of like overall altcoin health. And then if you start to look at, if you zoom out and look at a bunch of altcoin charts, like on the daily or 3-day, like there's so many just sitting on support. Like it kind of makes sense. It all kind of aligns where like, say 2 weeks from now, if ETH was 20 or 25% higher and a bunch of alts ran, I would be like, oh, well, that made sense. Like the planets kind of aligned. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. That's why like I'm not shorting alts. I'm only longing alts, even though DYDX wants to continue to rate me.
Send in Didix. Let's see.
No, man.
Come on, let's see what you got.
Coin kills me, man. You've seen that chart. I got the I mean, now it needs to kind of hold on, let me send it over.
Hold on, let me shift some lines really quick.
let me delete some previous plays. Yeah, even this shit's like looking real sketchy if it doesn't hold this level. Hold on a second.
Dude, last night, I messaged the guys. I was like, "Tell me why I shouldn't short DOT. Do you remember this?" And you're like, "It's the future of France." Like right here. Look at this shit. Fucking, I shorted like some piss small size. This shit dumped so hard.
I'm actually long on DOT right now.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Really?
down here though, DYDX, I longed from above,
Okay.
yeah, the underwater. But yeah, it's kind of losing this level. If it doesn't get its shit together in like the next day or two, then fuck this coin.
Oh, this is the H12.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah, it's
is
kind of in down only mode. It keeps hurting me and I keep coming back for more. I got a weird relationship with this coin right now.
absolute
Masochist over here.
masochism.
Yeah, there's something weird about it. Like if we take out like I'm like long like 7. I got like 7 longs open on this challenge account. Like all of them are like there's a few underwater, but like reasonably. But if you look at like the DYDX, I'm like it's got my unrealized. I'm like down like $1,000 on this fucking account.
It's like 10% of the account
And
size.
how many times have I been in this position the last like 4 or 5 days? And every time I'm like, I'm never fucking touching this shit again.
This
Be
shit's
back for
addicting.
more.
It's called
very strange.
degeneracy addiction. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, but I'm actually long dot right now. Right, I'm right around entry, or well, I'm a little bit in the green on it, but I mean it's right on support. So if Bitcoin bounces, this should.
You're not worried about that low right there.
Shut up, man. No, it's close enough for my liking.
Oh, dude, this thing.
Glutton for punishment.
Dude, this thing looks shit.
It's scary.
Dude,
Like, where would
it
that even
literally
stop?
looks like it's about to just like straight line, like.
No, don't say that, dude.
Well,
I
would
like
you
it,
ever
man.
look
I
at,
think so. I disagree, man. I think there's highs there to be ran. Like I like dot here. I mean, call me crazy. I mean, says the guy who's long DYDX and severely underwater.
8 times $1,000 underwater every time.
Yeah, it's bad. Whatever. But no, man. I think this could bounce here. I like it.
I think the
Alright,
biggest thing to
chat
look for
all
here is
in.
well, it kind of like looks bad in a way that could be trappy, right? Where it's just like another
Right.
retest of the lows.
This is just a local sweep here, and then it could bounce. And like keep in mind, these are just like quick moves I'm trying to catch. So like, don't anybody listening shouldn't like think I'm
Invest, guys.
like, yeah, like
Yeah, he's an
Long-term
investor.
holder.
We brought on the investor to talk about his investing strategy, long-term, 10-year horizon. On DOT.
DYDX and dot.
Man.
Like underwater spot bags so bad, like so
DeFi.
desperate, shilling to fucking like Twitch chat.
Where was it? I was in another underwater DYDX thing, and then like I shared the chart on Twitter, and you're like, you're fucking shameless. Dude, I like just because I'm underwater, man. I like the chart. And you're like, fucking shameless. Whatever, man.
So Sam, you trading any altcoins?
No.
Or just no? It's so
I could
fast.
barely. The only reason I traded altcoins during the bull market was because it was too disgusting to not make some money on those. But I'm not good at them. I don't have the patience. I don't know. I don't know enough. And like I know I have a good edge on Bitcoin and sometimes ETH, but usually not.
You don't have.
Yeah, I could focus on it, but it's,
what do you mean
it's
you don't have enough? What, you don't know the technology?
Yeah, I need to do more fundamental research before I can scalp a 20-bit move on DOT. I really need to understand what it does.
Have you read the white
society?
paper?
Oh, yeah.
I'm on my 14th
Print it
pass
out.
through. I've got binders full of white papers. I sit by the fire every night and hold myself while I read my favorite white papers. My heaviest bags.
Have you read the Bitcoin white paper? Looks like we have some like I even love at this low liquidity, like this low volume, there's like a 10 million Bybit degen buy that comes in and like price move like $2. It's so sad. I don't know.
The OP chart. I think that's interesting.
Oh yeah, that one's a good one too.
It's a good one. I longed it again, and it keeps bouncing on the support. It's been giving me some good plays.
Yeah, this fucker. I'm holding a small spot bag of this. From like
When did you buy it?
Down here. I'm up, but I was up like a decent amount. Like I was almost up like.
I remember you telling me that you bought some.
Yeah, it was down here at like 85 cents, maybe 90 cents.
Hey, that's pretty good. Yeah.
but I was looking for fucking like $1.30. I wanted like close to a 2x on it, but I don't know. I
If
think,
FTX hadn't blown up,
dude, I think we would actually be probably at those range highs like 26, 27 if it wasn't for FTX.
I think so. Yep.
Yeah, probably.
Because the ES move was so strong. Like I remember like the subsequent days of that happening.
Yeah, I
Fucking
remember that
ES
too.
was like up only like 5% moves.
Yeah, there was that one day. It was like, you know,
This right here. When was this? November 30th. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing. November 30th.
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
I actually,
we were bleeding off.
dude, I actually had people telling me like, "Oh, we're just the laggard." I'm like, "You're fucking delusional. The market's imploding. This crypto market, the whole industry is like falling apart. And it's just a laggard." I'm like, "Whatever, man. Good luck."
Like this is completely fucked.
Yeah. Like it's better to just accept things for what they are. Like I guess it's when people get badly underwater on like spot holdings and they just don't want to accept it. But it's like if the market's like in shambles, like just admit it, come to that acceptance, and then just like try to trade it accordingly. Oh no, it's the laggard. Like we're gonna be at 20K next week. I'm like, I had someone telling me that. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
it's really hard for a lot of people to be unbiased when they're in deep positions, right? And like you
Yeah.
really don't like you don't want to have to take that loss or whatever.
Right.
I think that like
I
if
get
you're not avoid being in positions as much as possible so that you can be an unbiased observer. And then, you know, when you're in a position, keep it short, get out when it's time to get out. Don't worry about missing like the second half of a move. This isn't the market for that.
I agree. I agree. The best thing you could do right now is in these conditions is just like get in and out. Like when you have like the higher probability plays and don't
Right.
like and it's funny too because like as soon as I get into a position, I'll find myself like thinking like, well, maybe I'll hold it to like a target further away, and then like every time, at least in these conditions, it bites me in the ass.
Yep.
Like
Same.
I
No,
rally
yeah.
that shit, and then I'm like, what did I do that for? But then like a week later, and I say a week, it's really like 4 hours later. Like I forget my mistake. But like it's like the psychological game, the tricks that your mind plays on you when you start getting in position. So I agree. Like if you can do your analysis when you're not in position and just completely unbiased, I mean that in itself is huge.
That's huge. Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Link. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Could be completely wrong. I'm also like the guy that we were just talking about. It's me because I have a lot of Link spot from like $7 to like $6. So I'm like sitting close to break even. This just looks like accumulation. Like maybe like yes, based on my whole BO3, we come down to this like $4. But this just feels like accumulation and we end up going like to here. I don't know. I'm sticking it out. This fucker's being held until I'm at least like 2 or 3x.
Well, I like the Link Bitcoin chart too.
Definitely not a bear flag.
Definitely not.
Whatever, man. We don't talk about that. Okay? Like, you're really holding the bag. Like, why do you say that?
Yeah, I think it needs to kind of hold this green line here.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think as long as we're above this level, like we're clearly on support, I think it could easily just. I mean, there's some targets above.
Blue line.
Purple. What is it?
Purple, blue. I don't know.
Purple. I don't know. Maybe I'm colorblind. But no, man. I think it can hold this level. I think look at the 3-day. The 3-day. It's sitting right on, almost on support here. Like it wouldn't shock me at all for this to continue an uptrend from here. I mean, despite the big SFP. But I mean, it kind of already rejected a bit from that. So I mean, I don't know if it wasn't on the level it was on, I'd be concerned that this chart would have to do some work below. But I don't think so. I don't know.
I'm feeling a lot like this. It's kind of a lot like this. Like just let me run these highs here.
Yeah.
Triple equal highs. Come on, that's a
And
high time frame too.
Let me pull it up. That second yellow circle Second.
Yeah, so
You're on the 12-hour.
convincing myself that I'm going to be okay on my link spot.
It's
I'm
gonna be
obviously
okay.
not going to sell at break even. I've held it this long.
Oh man, it looks good even for just like a quick long play.
Yeah,
I like it.
here we go. Slam adding more positions. All right, that's about what I have. Does anyone else have anything else?
Nah, not really.
Nah, this has been a long
Gonna be a
market
big
review.
week.
Big
Big
week,
week.
boys.
Big
Remember
week,
the news, guys. Monday through Friday we got news, so
Yep.
stay
News
safe.
on stacks
Snoo-
on news.
No
Yes.
snooze on the news.
I like dudes. What?
Yeah,
He's-
we know.
Hello?
Yes,
All right.
clearly.
Yeah, what?
Should we do like shill your bags? Go ahead. Everybody
Shill
follow
our
Miz on
bags.
Twitter.
Oh, I thought you meant
Um,
actual crypto holdings. I was like, what?
no one actually has any.
Like,
bags.
Yeah, I was like, I got nothing. 10-year treasuries, my boys.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't have those either. Yeah, go
Um,
ahead, Shill. What's everybody's handles?
I'll just throw my link in.
Yeah, throw them in the chat.
It's gonna increasingly just become more cats dancing.
That's good.
I'll probably post some like resistance is futile and support is futile, and those are like indirect cues to either long or short.
Huge hit rate on those guys.
We're about 7 out of 7 right now. That's not even joking.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, I know.
Every time you say that, I'm like, fuck. Like you're like resistance is futile. I'm like fucking
Get
wall.
out. Get out.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. It's probably the only thing that saved my challenge account.
It's so death. Yeah, so watch for those tweets that come out. You know the cue if you're here. So
Yep.
the
All right,
whale.
guys, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
helping on, dude.
We should do this again sometime soon. I feel like I wanted to ask you like your background in trading, but we just like never had the time. So I guess we could save that for next time.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's nothing too exciting, but yeah, all right, yeah, I'll be back around. You guys,
just
bored
Yeah,
as
yeah,
fuck.
well, it's an excuse to
Just
have you
lie.
on.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
Sounds good, guys. All right, thanks a lot.
All right.
appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks,
All right,
dude.
yep. Later.
Can't wait to never use Google Meet again.
What a yeah, dude. Me and Luke use it all the time for business.
Do you?
Yeah, we have to.
Oh yeah, that's right.
For funding and for all sorts of other business stuff.
We're still live.
Some yeah, we're still live.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful. Some funds and people use Zoom, but it's still basically Zoom or Google Meets industries.
I love how
Maybe
love how
80%
Lat's
Google
like,
Meets.
guys, you guys are still alive.
He wants to make sure I don't say something.
No.
He's trying to protect.
Well,
He
me
wants to make
too.
sure
I mean,
I-
I was about to just like.
I was
you
gonna
know.
start reading off my seed phrase to my Trezor that has no money in it.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, that's what
That's
I
my
always
ritual. I recite it.
do. Yeah.
I recite it after
Before
every
bed
stream.
every night.
Yeah.
Gotta have those bedtime rituals.
I'm getting off here.
Yeah, me
Do you want
too.
me to
I'm
throw
getting
back
off.
on my AFK trying to long when I shouldn't be logging stream?
I
Or-
can
I'm totally good. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do. I'm not going to be on voice, so it's like
if you want, I can just stay on for like an hour.
if you're up for it. That's awesome. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll stay on for an hour.
Cool. Yeah, just let me
fuck it.
know if you want, and I'll turn mine on after.
All right,
Good
yeah,
shit.
I'll message you whenever I hop off.
Yep, no problem.
All right,
Awesome. Cool.
All right,
Good stuff.
thanks for the review, guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, thank you. That's
Peace out.
cool. Yeah, I'll DM you.
All right, I'll be
Hey.
sure to send this over for recording
Yeah.
for upload.
Perfect. All right.
All right, see you, boys.
See you, boys. Talk soon.